Joining us now is Gil Kerlikowske. He served as Commissioner of the U.S. Customs and Border Protection from 2014 to 2017. Thanks for being with us, Commissioner, as we focus on the immigration portion of what the president may discuss tonight. In a recent poll, CBS News poll, we found more than half of respondents said the president's policies have made the issue of illegal immigration worse. From your point of view, as someone who has this inside knowledge, what action needs to be taken to better address what all presidents, or at least presidents of both parties in recent memory, have struggled with?
Well, the most important thing, of course, would be for Congress to take on the immigration issue, which is their responsibility. Unfortunately, for 3 decades, they haven't, and I would not have any expectation that Congress will take this on. But here's what they can do, both the administration and Congress. They can significantly restructure and realign the Department of Homeland Security. It has grown far too large. It was formed as a result of the 9/11 terrorist attack. And yet for the last 10 years, our issue has been the southwest border and migration. We can learn from the European Union, we can learn from the United Kingdom that formed narrow, specialized organizations to focus on the border. They're responsible for protecting the president, they're responsible for cybersecurity, they're responsible for doing drug investigations, but we already have the Drug Enforcement Administration. That's what they can do.
Really interesting to look at what other countries have done that has been successful. Because as Errol notes, this is a struggle that many presidents have dealt with, but it is more acute right now because between fiscal years 2020 and 2022, the numbers of encounters at the southwest border more than quadrupled. Tell us what's driving this spike.
Well, we know that a lot of people, not just in the 3 Central American countries that we dealt with and also Mexico in the past, but the entire Southern Hemisphere, but also people from India, from China, et cetera. America has become the destination. And these numbers, 2.3, 2.4 million people, have clearly exhausted and stretched the United States Border Patrol to beyond what they're capable of handling. So I think that when people can apply in a third country or apply to come into the United States in their home country, that certainly could help. But the numbers of people crossing, as we've seen day after day, year after year, is not sustainable.
I want to get your views on the Remain in Mexico policy. The Mexican government just yesterday said it opposes the U.S. restarting that policy, which effectively allowed asylum seekers to wait for their adjudication in Mexico rather than here in the States. A federal judge has kind of clamped down on what the Biden administration was doing. What's your view on that small, narrow fix to the issue?
Well, the fact that the Trump administration had Remain in Mexico, but made it so incredibly harsh, without security, without shelter, without food, without education for some of these people, the families and their kids. And I think the entire goal was you'll get really tired of living in this awful situation in Mexico and you will return to your home country. And of course, Mexico was not compensated in any realistic way. Frankly, in France, we have people coming into France, staying in France, waiting to try to enter the United Kingdom, et cetera. If we had a humanitarian system in Mexico where people could have access to their attorneys, food, shelter, et cetera, the Remain in Mexico policy is not something that could not be made to work, and compensation, of course, for Mexico.
Yeah, important to note what all of these folks are actually experiencing and going through in order to seek asylum, how challenging for them to then suffer and wait as they try to find some type of potential solution. Former Commissioner of the U.S. Customs Border Protection, Gil Kerlikowske, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.